Hello, thank you for joining me at Leaping Lotus Tarot. My name is Addison if you're new here. Please only take the messages that resonate for you. Leave what doesn't for somebody else. I am using a tea leaf oracle deck here. So these messages are very broad and kind of vague. So I'm going to start with some, clarify with some later. Hit like and subscribe if this resonates for you. It's very important and helpful to the channel to get the messages out there that people need to hear. The goal of this channel is to help raise the collective consciousness, to help bring people into a higher path and a higher timeline. So it is very important that the people who need to hear the message, hear the message. Okay, I feel called to pull a couple tarot as well. This is the Skyrim Tarot. So if you guys are familiar with any video games, Skyrim was a super popular game not too long ago. Okay, so we have omens. We have flag, dots and circles, success. So that's kind of what's coming through as far as the oracle messages here for the tea leaves. Right away from the tarot, we have strength. So that's Leo energy. I'm kind of trying to feel into what this is. It feels like some sort of victory. There's something very much about like a victory or an accomplishment with something. We have two of lockpicks, which in this deck is two of pentacles. So there's a little bit of a balancing energy going on here. Ace of spells, which is ace of wands, but it's in reverse. But the queen of spells is upright. And then we have the six of lockpicks, six of pentacles in reverse. Okay, so somebody's having to seek balance from something. There is not an equal give and take in something. And I think that has to do with this queen of spells and this ace of spells in reverse. So there's some sort of feminine energy here that is not equally giving and taking in this relationship. But it's taking great strength, and it's taking, because two of pentacles is balance and harmony, trying to get that, trying to juggle those pentacles. Earth energy, fire energy. So a lot of earth and fire going on here. And also too, the fact that strength card has like this masculine energy on it. Usually in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, the masculine energy is, or it's actually a feminine energy with a lion. And here we've got a masculine. So it feels like the masculine's represented by strength here. And we have the queen of spells. She is in the upright. So the passion is either not from the king or it's not from the queen. The lack of equal give and take. Omens, flag. Tell me more about strength, because we're going to have to get more details about this masculine. Why is this like a heavier type of seven of voice? I'm wondering why I felt a victory here, because this is like options. Someone might feel like an option to this person. 10 of spells, 10 of wands. Somebody's tired of not being equally as felt for, as impassioned about. Why do we have the sense of victory somehow? Is it because this person's finally able to see this situation for what it is? They're able to have the strength to maybe walk away from something, from somebody who's not showing equal passion. Knight of lockpicks. Okay, yeah, this could be masculine energy at earth. So the feminine might be a fire sign, the masculine might be an earth sign. Take it as it resonates. Earth signs are Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. The star is in reverse here. This is a major arcana card, Aquarius energy. So when I asked about why do I feel like there's some sort of victory here, it's somebody had really convinced themselves, I think, that they were going to be with this person, that this was their person, but they're realizing that it's not. And I think that might be the victory here. That might be the success. That might be what's actually like, you know what? I'm coming into my own balance. I'm seeking somebody who's actually going to have an equal give and take with me. Five of voice, five of cups in reverse. Yeah, letting go of the sadness. Three of cups in reverse. Yeah, letting go of like the hope that somehow this was going to be some positive collaborative energy. And then we've got the four of voice, four of cups. It still sucks though, right? And it still requires strength. It still requires strength to make this change. It still requires, discipline and being earnest in what you stand for in yourself. Wheel of Fortune here as I split the deck. That's beautiful. So somebody's embracing the potential, which makes a lot of sense with the that makes a lot of sense with the potential, the Wheel of Fortune. I just lost my train of thought. Two of Voice in reverse. A lot of voice. So this is all water energy. This is cups. So a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling in this. And it's in reverse. Yeah, I just do think somebody thought this was their person, and it's just so clearly not. It's just so clearly not. What are we moving towards? What's being moved towards now that this realization that this is not your actual person? What's gonna happen? The Hermit in reverse. Here's Virgo energy. So that earth sign, that masculine, that Knight of Pentacles might be a Virgo. He's realizing that he can come out of his shell. He's realizing that he doesn't have to shut down the sides of himself that need to speak out. He can speak his truth and demand that he's got needs, and that that this Queen of Wands is just not meeting them. What else do we need to know about where this is going? This is the Four of Arms. I guess this is Four of Swords in reverse. That's interesting that we had the Hermit in reverse. We also have the Four of Swords in reverse. This could be advice saying to take the time to go within and really listen. Maybe you've known this all along, and you're just kind of now accepting that you've been ignoring that inner voice that's been telling you for so long, like, hey, this person may not be the best for you. Okay, Death. Yep. Scorpio energy. Death is not a scary card. Death is a rebirth card. Death is an exciting card. I actually love Death. I think Death is fantastic. It's very empowering. You know, it seems so finite or like final, right? But it's not. It's this start. It's the rebirth. When something dies, it can be reborn, or it's repurposed into something else, right? But we've got a Page of Spells here. So now this is the masculine energy coming into the passion. So there's a new passion. So he started off as this earth energy, trying to be grounded, I guess, for this feminine that he thought was his fire, he thought was his other half. And he's realizing, nope, I guess she's not. But you know what? I'm going to turn that fire, that, you know, that perceived passion of a situation, and I'm going to put it into what I want to do. I'm going to put it into what I want to create, because this is a new cycle for me. This is rebirth. It's that Wheel of Fortune, right? So here's kind of that full circle moment of, I was like, I lost my train of thought, but there's the Wheel of Fortune right there, the cycle, the turning of the wheel, the hope, the potential. Now I remember what I was going to say before, and that was the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is options, potentials, choices, good and bad ones, right? But it's just the possibility of there being other options and there being hope and a place to restart with this. So this is really exciting. This is really cool. Let's see. Any final messages we need to know before maybe I grab a couple more tea leaf cards? Again, hit like and subscribe if this is your message. Drop in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. More than a like and subscribe, I love the comments. I love it when you guys engage with me and, you know, say how this relates to your life, or that you know somebody who's going through this. Eight of Arms, Eight of Swords, restriction, Page of Lockpicks. Oh my gosh, Three of Spells in reverse. You know what's so funny? This feels like all this time, this feminine was presenting a certain way, this masculine was presenting a certain way. It's not working out. Those versions of themselves are not healed. They were not the ones that were compatible for each other. Now that he's starting to change, she's starting to embrace a different part of herself now, though, a more logical side. So yeah, it's like her wand energy, her fire energy is now reverting to more of a sword-like energy, more of like a intellectual and logical thinking. And he's moving into his own passion. So it's kind of like the separation from her is actually benefiting her as well. She is coming through as restricted a little bit with this Eight of Arms here. She has hope all around her, right? But she's kind of putting some self-imposed restrictions, I'm feeling like here. Is there any advice we can give to this feminine? Because she did come through in the upright earlier, so I don't think she has bad intentions per se, but these two just aren't a fit. Like, that's really what it's coming down to. Advice is to surrender to the process. Wow, Hanged Man, Piscean energy, and also the Emperor. There's Aries energy. There's some fire. What this is telling me is that your masculine is just somebody else. It's not this guy. It didn't work between you guys because it wasn't meant to work between you guys. Pause and surrender. Realize that there's somebody who's better out there for you. Put focus and attention on that aspect of things and not the loss of this person. Knight of Spells, the Chariot. Yeah, I mean, and this is 8 of Spells, 8 of Wands reversed. It might take some time, is what this is saying. This might take some time. He is moving in towards you, but it's slowly. You just being a feminine, most feminines are who are listening to this. And then the Chariot is Cancerian energy. So we have the Pisces and Cancer energy here. So definitely something about water. There's a lot of emotion involved in this, but you know, how this reading began was strength, right? Which is the hope that you can get through this. You know, this death cycle is not anything other than a rebirth and an opportunity for people who are more suited for each of you to come into each other's lives. So take that as the opportunity that you're going to ride in the Chariot, because we have the Emperor and the Empress ride in the Chariot. We don't have any Empress energy yet because I think this feminine still has a lot of kind of self-growth to do with this Page of Lockpicks energy. She's still learning and figuring out. She's coming into her intellect and realizing that things are a little bit more logical than emotional and fiery and passionate than she realizes. There's a little bit more substance that has to be in something. Communication, this is not only just logical, this is communication as well. So this feminine might be realizing that she needs to have better communication. But yeah, this is all a, you know, pause and surrender to the process. That's the cards coming out. You know, don't restrict yourself. Don't place restrictions on yourself, because you know what, as you become enlightened, as you wake up to the truth of yourself and you actually start giving to yourself for both ends of this, masculine and feminine, as you give to yourself and you realize what you truly need and what's equal give and take for your situation, you're going to draw in a fantastic situation with an Emperor or Empress or however the gender, you know, applies to your situation. So I'm going to take one final card. I'm just going to pull it from the top here. Oh my gosh, it's the Omens one. That's too funny. There may be something very faded about this. You know, I'm getting kind of karmic energy with that faded card. So let's just see if we can get something else. Yeah. Wow, beautiful. Love and change. Peacock and cloud. Yeah, so get your head out of the clouds. Quit peacocking and having that fire energy of needing to show off and prove something to somebody, because that's not the truth. The truth is love. The truth is love, and the truth is change, because the one thing that's guaranteed in life is change. So the more you surrender to that process and accept that there's new and better things coming for you and this other person, the easier this is going to be, and you're not going to have to be fighting through strength in the battles of fighting yourself with that 8 of Swords as much. So I hope you liked that. I will see you guys on the channel next time. Go check out my playlist if you're for more readings for your astrological sign. My readings are timeless unless I specifically specify that they're for a certain time. But even then, if you stumble across a message, that means there's something in it that I think you're meant to hear or share with somebody. I firmly believe that things are not accidents. So thank you guys again, and we will see you next time.